Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lantau 70, where we just saw the finish of Ryan Whelan, but he's not in the 70-kilometer solo race. He's part of the relay race, if I'm not mistaken. So, but we are waiting for Jeff Campbell, who's going to win this 70-kilometer race here. He has an advantage of around 12 minutes, maybe a bit more now, according to the GPS tracking, over Alessandro Sherpa. And Arni Macaneras is in third place, but he will still have to push, because the American James Batagold is approaching. So Batagold is a strong newcomer here in the ATM scene and also in Hong Kong, because nobody seems to really know him. And he's catching the reigning ATM champion. But right now we're still waiting for Arni Macaneras. John Ellis is also with me. We will be having a bit of an exchange of views of what happened during the race with him as well. And we can also see Esther Zilak, one of the global trail running stars nowadays in the women's field. She ran also as part of a relay team here in Lantau, and this morning she actually ran another short distance race elsewhere in Hong Kong. So she had two competitions, short distance competitions on the same day. Let's see who else we can find here. David Longo, also part of a relay team today. John Ellis, we're waiting for Jeff.
Yeah, we're waiting for Jeff. Looks like he's probably about 4 or 5 minutes away from finishing. It's going to be pretty close to 7:30, which I think is probably the third fastest time in the history, the 10-11 year history of the event, which is pretty amazing considering some of the elite, like global elite runners that have done it.
Yeah. What are your overall impressions of today's race?
Man, it was such an interesting day. Just so many things happening. So many things hard to predict. It was great at the start seeing Sherpa and Arnie and Jeff all sort of push each other together. They came through the checkpoint 1 at Nong Ping. It's 2 really big climbs. I think you've got about sort of 2 900-meter mountains that they've been over. 150, that was really fast. And then you sort of them pushing together. In the end, Sherpa and Jeff came through Tayo, which is about halfway in terms of time. That was a really quick time as well, 3:20, and I was a little bit worried that they'd overcooked it. They kept going. Then we had the lightning. I think the guys did the right thing in terms of stopping the race, but fortunately our protagonists at the front, they were able to sort of get through, and they weren't in danger from a lightning point of view. But
is that a common thing in Hong Kong for all the viewers who are not aware with the regulations of trail running in Hong Kong? Or so the race was effectively interrupted for 45 minutes in the end?
Yeah, and it was the right decision because this course has a lot of peaks, so there's a lot of ridge lines, and so we had a lightning field come through for about half an hour. And I think the race directors did the right thing. They sort of stopped everyone, made them sort of stay at whatever checkpoint they were at until it was safe to go again. And so, as you said, it was like a 15 to 60 minute sort of stop for a lot of the runners, or maybe a little bit less, and then we're off again. So it sort of adds a little bit of a different flavour, adds another variable. I guess that's going to play into maybe the women's race a lot more than the men, because they sort of got ahead of the lightning field and were able to just do a normal race.
Correct. In the women's race we have Katarina Hamlin, yes. British, but apparently based in Hong Kong also.
Based in Hong Kong, very strong runner. She's won quite a few of the races around here.
Yeah, she's a newcomer on the ATM scene, so first time we're seeing her, and she was ahead already before the race got stopped, and after the restart she again pulled away from the other girls, Agi Sabanao, Ruth Teresia, Sun Ming Xue. What can you tell us about Katarina?
Yeah, look, she's based in Lantau, so this is her backyard. So I think that's always going to give you a bit of an advantage, especially around how to play the conditions, how to pace. But she's very strong. She's in good form. Would love to see her do a few more of the ATM races, and it's going to be interesting to talk to her at the end just to see just what was the mental state around the lightning sort of pause.
Yeah. All right, and now we're waiting for Jeff Campbell. Should be coming any moment soon. Well, the sky is again darkening a bit, right? So Ryan Whelan is also over here.
Hey,
Ryan.
Just to let you know, Jeff is about 2 minutes out. So So I passed him before. He's looking strong, in good spirits.
Clearly wasn't that strong if you passed him.
In fact, Jeff Jeff was actually in good spirits. This doesn't happen very often. John does it at the end
no,
of the race.
he's usually
He was
a little bit
smiling,
grumpy.
and so I think he's got screw loose today, but he's run a really good race, so we'll see him come in
Yeah.
in a moment, I guess.
Exactly. He should be coming any time now.
Yeah, but it's been. I think he's run a really smart race. Coming out of Tayo, I think him and Sherpa were together. From what we hear, there was quite a few ups and downs, and then on the sort of the back half of stage 3, he made his move. I think it hurt him. To put time on Sherpa, you've really got a red line, and I think when we saw Jeff at checkpoint 3, which is maybe sort of 41, 40, maybe 43 k's in, he was looking pretty rough, a little bit white. Just a little bit scrappy, but I think he's played a smart game. He sort of just eased off a little bit. He's got his breath back. He's managed to keep that sort of 10-13 minute lead over Sherpa. So really smart. It's going to be a really amazing time as well.
Yeah, and it's also a great revenge for what happened in Philippines in December on the Mount Aposcar race, where he had a bad tumble, right, and fell out of the race literally. And it was also his ambition to become ATM champion. So. Do you have any insight in how he dealt with that defeat, so to speak?
Yeah, look, I mean, it was tough because I think to be ATM champion, I think was a goal for the year. And so when you put something, you commit yourself to something for a year. Yeah, he was definitely disappointed. But it's one of these things. It's a racing incident and took a tumble.
And there he is.
Here we go.
Let's catch the finish of Jeff Campbell as the winner of the 10th edition of Lantau 70. Well done, boys. Well done. Jeff Campbell wins it today, this Saturday afternoon, a bit rainy. Jeff usually likes to take a moment before he gives us a few words.
We're so fucked up in Tayo, and look at you now.
Warm hug from Jeremy Ritchie, the race director, and of course also John Ellis, Ryan Whelan, David Longo.
Thanks for proving me wrong.
Well done. Amazing.
How about you?
I'm a little hot and tired.
It's okay.
Walk us through the race a little bit, Jeff. Congratulations.
7:35.
Wow.
We need to kill a few minutes until Sherpa is here.
How far back is he?
12 minutes, maybe more now.
I mean, we went out really, really fast. My pace chart had us scheduled to get to CP1 at 1:55, which is very aggressive, and we got there at 1:51. But I still figured it was best to hang with Sherpa and Arnie, because if we were all going to shatter our legs before we get to the catchwater, I favored myself with shattered legs on the catchwater against both of them. And I think we all ended up paying the price, but I guess I paid a little bit less of it.
So you ran away in a technical descent, is what I heard?
A little bit. I mean, it was sort of after Tayo. No, actually, not really. After Tayo, Sherpa and I kind of went into Tayo together. I had a really nice checkpoint turn, thanks to Mr. John Ellis and all the volunteers. I basically saw that he was taking a little bit longer, so I just decided to hit it going out of Tayo, and didn't really see him after that. I didn't feel like I was going too hard at that point, but I mean, all of our legs were pretty banged up, so I guess that was the least hurting of the three.
70 kilometers is still quite a long distance for Jeff Campbell, normally speaking, but we hear that you're moving up in distance.
So Chris, I would argue that 70 kilometers is just generally a long distance.
It is, of course.
But yeah, I mean, I'm getting really old, very old, and and I've been told that you lose all of your speed very quickly. So
clearly not today.
So I feel going up to a bit longer distances is logical. Also, very lucky to be named to Team Canada again, and I'll be running the 85K long course. So need to get a few longer races in the legs to get them ready for that.
All right, congratulations, Jeff Campbell, another ATM race win.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, and that was Jeff Campbell winning the race. And in the background, I see another famous ATM runner there, Pablo Diago Gonzalez, who also ran the short distance today, coming back from injury. Pablo Diago Gonzalez,
hello.
Good to see you again on the ATM
you.
scene. How have you been doing after the Bali Ultra Trail?
Well, I picked up an injury there, and it took longer than anticipated to recover. Actually, it's still not good. Every time I push a little bit on the training, I feel it. So I'm keeping it very easy still. So I think this year is going to be like taking it easy, building back some fitness. Yeah. So I don't think I'll be doing the longer stuff for the foreseeable future.
How did you feel today in the race? You did the 28 kilometer, right?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. It's my first time in Hong Kong since they reopened, and I haven't raced here for probably around 4 years. And it's great to be back on these stairs. We always forget how difficult they are and how specific they are. Yeah. No, I loved it. The weather was a bit misty, so we couldn't see the view, but really enjoy racing in Hong Kong again.
All right, thanks a lot, Pablo, and we wish you all the best with your recovery further.
Thank you. See you around.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Well played.
All right, and we are waiting for Alessandro Sherpa, but that could still take 10 to 15 minutes, so we will cut the broadcast here for the time being and come back to you later with the finish of Sherpa and Macaneras and the surprising American James